Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of yoga philosophy, exploring the definition of yoga from Patanjali's point of view. But don't worry, we're going to keep it simple and exciting. According to Patanjali, cessation of mental modifications is called yoga. In simple words, yoga involves controlling the thoughts in your mind. In this definition of yoga by Patanjali, there are three main aspects. First is chitta, which is consciousness or mind. Second is vritti, which is the functions or capabilities of the mind, or simply put, thoughts. The last and main aspect is control over the mind and its modifications. Let's start with the first aspect of this definition. According to Patanjali, the mind, chitta, has three parts: manas, buddhi, and ahamkara. Manas is like a recorder that takes in information from the senses. For example, imagine you're walking in a park and you see a colorful bird. Your mind's recording part notices the bird and registers, "There's a beautiful, colorful bird in the tree." Buddhi or intellect is like a judge that figures out what that information means. This discriminative part of your mind kicks in. It thinks, that bird is a parrot, known for its bright colors and ability to talk. Ahamkara or ego, which claims this information as your own and stores it as personal knowledge. Now your ego comes into play. It says, "I know about parrots. They're fascinating birds and I've seen one up close." So, in simpler terms, your mind first observes things, then intellect figures out what they are, and finally, your ego stores this knowledge as your own. Now let's talk about the vrittis, or the modifications of the mind. According to yoga philosophy, think of God as an all-encompassing presence that's everywhere, even inside you and me. In yoga, they call this inner God the Atman, like your true inner self. Some texts use the word Purusha for this inner God, but let's stick with Atman because it's more common. Whether Atman or Purusha, the idea is that this divine essence is in every living being and even in things that aren't alive. Now let's talk about the mind. It might seem super smart and aware, but yoga philosophy says it's not. Instead, it borrows its intelligence from the Atman or Purusha, which is pure intelligence and consciousness. So, your mind is like a mirror reflecting that divine intelligence, making it appear conscious. Imagine your mind as a beautiful lake. When it's calm, you can see the bottom clearly. That's your true self, your Atman. But sometimes, life stirs up waves on the surface, making the water muddy. These waves represent your thoughts and emotions. Now here's the catch. Your thoughts can shape your character. Think of these thoughts as sandbanks forming at the bottom of the lake, called samskaras. Positive thoughts create positive sandbanks, and negative thoughts create negative ones. But here's where yoga philosophy differs from Western science. It suggests that some of these tendencies are not just from this life, but might come from past lives. It's like a unique recipe of traits you're born with. The good news is that you can change these tendencies. It's like reshaping those sandbanks in your mind lake. You have the power to transform your character by introducing new, positive thoughts. Now let's talk about different types of minds. Some are restless, some are lazy, and some just focus on the pleasant stuff. But here's the exciting part. No matter your mind's current state, with practice, you can discipline it, make it one-pointed, and reach a state of perfect yoga. The main aspect of this definition of yoga by Patanjali is control or nirodha. When Patanjali talks about controlling the mind, he doesn't mean trying to completely empty your mind like turning off a switch. That's not the goal. Some people mistakenly think that yoga is about making your mind totally blank, but that's not the case. In fact, trying to forcefully empty your mind is not helpful and can even be harmful. It's like asking someone to hit you on the head to make you stop thinking. Yoga is not about trying to forcefully stop your thoughts. Instead, it's about something more challenging but rewarding. It's about changing how you relate to your thoughts. You see, we often get caught up in thinking that our thoughts define us, that they are who we are. But that's not true. The real challenge in yoga is to unlearn this false idea that our thoughts are the same as our identity. It's like reshaping how you see yourself. This process involves a complete makeover of your character, a bit like hitting the reset button on your mind. It's about letting go of the mistaken belief that your thoughts define you and realizing that you're something much deeper and greater than your thoughts. It's like discovering a new and better version of yourself. So, in simple terms, yoga is not about trying to stop thinking altogether, but rather about changing your relationship with your thoughts so you can find a truer and better version of yourself. It's like a mental makeover for a happier and more peaceful life. Yoga teaches us to break free from this cycle of feeling happy and then sad by finding peace in the calm lake within us. That's where the real, lasting happiness lives. That's all for this video. If you want to learn more about this, keep watching our videos and subscribe to our channel for more mind-expanding wisdom. If you're enjoying this, hit that like button. If you have any questions, doubts, or suggestions regarding this video, feel free to comment below. Share this video so that we can spread this information to the maximum people. I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe, stay sattvic,